everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, where it's our show where we review things in the world of television. However, today we are not doing a review per se, we are doing predictions. Because if you're unaware, throughout the past 6 weeks, we've been reviewing each and every episode of Reacher Season 2. That has come to a close, and now we are here to speculate what Season 3 might be on about. So this will include some spoilers for Season 2 of Reacher, so if you haven't checked that out, please go watch Reacher Season 2, available on Amazon Prime. You can check out our season review that comes out next week, so stay tuned for that as well. But for now, once again, I will be spoiling some elements of Season 2 that is deemed necessary, so if you want to try and go into this spoiler-free as possible, come back when you're done with Season 2, and then we can talk about it from there, what you could be expecting from the third season of Reacher, which has been confirmed. Like, most times out of 10 when I'm doing these prediction videos, I'm recording these, like, a little bit too early, let's say, where the show hasn't been renewed yet, so I'm kind of like speculating in the wind of like, what if we get another season, and then most times out of 10 nowadays, it gets canceled, and I'm just so fucking bummed that, like, I did an entire video expressing what I hope to see again, and they're just like, nope, you're not going to see these characters again, and I'm just like, damn. But, like, no, we got renewed for Season 3, I think either shortly before or a little bit into Season 2, air cycle, we got that announcement with because Alan Richardson confirmed he was back to work filming another season of Reacher before Season 2 was even back on the air. So very happy about that. Very excited to see that we're gonna get to see that. Because just in general, Season 2 of Reacher blew so many records for the streaming platform, and I'm just so freaking happy that, like, you know, we're still, like, and again, like, streaming numbers, they're not the same as like the Nielsen's or like the box office. Like, we're still in a relatively new territory with that. So, like, amount of minutes watched, like, is that a gigantic amount? I mean, if Amazon said, yeah, it's a gigantic amount, okay, yeah, we're gonna take that as it may be. If you are buying an Amazon Prime subscription just to watch Reacher, it's cool enough for me. It's cool. We get to come back for more. But yeah, no, I was really excited for the announcement. I was like, yes, I can safely watch Season 2 without being worried about if we're going to come back. And the thing is that this show's a pseudo anthology series where, like, relatively speaking, every season kind of feels like its own natural entry point. Like, you know, hypothetically, Season 3 will be the same thing where you will get the layout. You will be able to enjoy the whole season without having to watch the previous season, because, you know, that was just another point in Reacher's life. We're just kind of jumping into Reacher's, you know, life point by point here. You know, whether some gets, you know, season adaptations, or whether or not, you know, some are just like, you know, references to the books. So that means, like, the books were canonical in the show. We just, you know, we didn't get to see them more or less. So that's something that I was actually very curious about, because, like, again, there's a lot of Reacher books out there. You know, I am not a literate person. I am not whatsoever, and that's great for me because, like, you know, I use the show itself to kind of like tell me the story from the books. And I'm not a book guy. I'm not. I barely read manga, and I know manga is like mostly pictures, but I'm like, even that's like, you know, I'm just not one to sit down and read a book. I'm not that type of person. I'm not like that. So for me personally speaking, so, like, even before I was gonna sit down here and talk about what do I want to see, like, you know, obviously I'm not a book guy, but I can confirm that, yeah, they already confirmed the book they're going to be adapting in Season 3, which is called Persuader. I think that's the name of the title. I think so. I'm not really sure 100% what it is. Supposedly it was one of the early Jack Reacher books when the series started. The series started in, like, the late 90s or early 2000s. I forgot which one it was specifically, but it was relatively in the earlier cycle of Jack Reacher, where, you know, the books. Right now, what the show has done, the show has already adapted the first book, and they've already adapted, I think, the 2010 book or the 2013 book. I forgot which one it was. I think it was the 2013 one. And then you had, no, I think it was the 2010 one. I'm getting confused with my numbering here. I don't know the names of the, like, I know the first one's called One Shot. I know the second, the one they did for this season we just watched was called Bad Luck and Trouble. And then I know the movies they did with Tom Cruise. I forgot what the first one was about. I know the second one was Never Go Back. So they already adapted a fair amount of, you know, stuff there. Oh, One Shot. Is One Shot? No, I'm getting lost here. I'm getting lost with books I don't care about, really, that I don't care about reading books. I apologize for any literate fans out there. I'm not trying to be negative towards you. It's just, I just don't read books. So if I am butchering something, I apologize. It's not my intention. I'm uneducated. That's why. But yeah, so honestly, you know, not knowing much about the plot, I already read the log line, and I'm very interested about it. You know, the log line of the book is basically Reacher's going undercover to work with the DEA to take someone out of undercover duty. And with that being said, like, saying some comments he made before prior to season 3 start, or at least, promoting season 2, but talking about a little bit about season 3 because he didn't want to spoil anything for season 2, is that this season is more Reacher centric. And before I say anything about that, I know the title's called Reacher, but then again, we've had multiple shows named after titular characters. They still have supporting cast. I'll talk more about how I thought about season 2 next week. I still thought it was way better than season 1. But yeah, Reacher season 2, have the balance between Reacher being, kind of like this solo act, but at the same time, he's kind of have like his team backing him up on this, personal mission. So that to kind of have that, now Reacher going back alone, like, literally alone in this, like, new world, which I'm like, yeah, this kind of makes sense, what is about. And I'm just like, I'm so excited about this because, it's something different where, that's the beauty of like having so much to work with, that you get to, let everything breathe. You get to let everything, kind of do its own thing. Where like season 1, season 2 are largely kind of different stories, different types of stories, let alone it's still part of the same umbrella show. This is still Reacher kind of just doing its own thing. This is not some sort of procedural. This is not sort of like, law enforcement show, government agency. This is not it. It's just a man literally got to do what he thinks is right. And yeah, you could say like, well, what is right? Like his actions, like, killing the bad guys, or like, kind of going against a lot of, like, again, that goes into morals and everything else. But at the end of the day, Reacher is doing the moral right thing. And again, I know that's like, kind of like, it depends on like how you view things of his actions. But for me personally, he's a good guy. He's, just got a different way of, he's a stoic man. That's the point I'm trying to say here. But with just the book they picked out for this one, definitely this is going to be like the most, like, I think personally speaking, people say season 3 is always the darkest, the most personal season of it. I mean, like, yeah, season 1, season 2 definitely went to some places. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you about that. They definitely don't hold anything bad. This is a streaming show with a TV mature rating. Yeah, definitely for sure. Like, any sort of like, as long as it saves to say the quality is still the same, I don't mind what it does. The fact that Reacher's alone, which I'm like, yeah, Reacher's always alone. Like, most days of the week, he's usually just wandering in some random town or random crossroads, or like he's on a bus, maybe he's on a plane. Who the heck knows where he is? But like, he's always like he's just wandering. He's always alone. So it's like him being alone is not really like the biggest thing. And that's not a critique or anything from the upcoming season 3. I'm not trying to say that at all. It's just that Reacher kind of being putting himself out of his element is definitely something interesting to see. That it just kind of goes to show where, like, Reacher having to pretend to be some other guy. I don't know quite how that's going to work out, really. Definitely, I know people are going to say, like, yeah, the book did it. And I'm like, yeah, I know the book did it. I'm not going to read the book. I don't want to be spoiled. It's like, at the end of the day, I'm assuming, hypothetically, Reacher is going to be alive. Because that's just how... the man can't be sorry. He's like a behemoth. Like, one of these seasons, I'm not sure if anyone could just comment to me down below, like, what is a book where Reacher meets his match, his physical match? I would love for that to be a season. If that is a book out there, I would love to give it a look and like see where that can fall into place. Because again, like, I think for me, the best stories with heroes that are like, very mighty and, stuff like that are the ones where they meet their physical match, where like they meet someone that can, like, ain't going to go that easy. It's not going to be an easy 1, 2, 3 match. It is definitely going to be like a very tough climb, to say the least, about that. And that's something I would like to see. I have no idea what the context is for season 3, like, as we get deeper. But the only other thing we know about season 3 as of right now is that Neely's coming back. We knew this already. This was already confirmed back in season 1 that she will be the only other character that will link the all the seasons together. It's Reacher this is his show, but Neely's going to pop in then and there. But what I am aware is that Neely's actually not part of the books, the specific book they're adapting. So most likely that will be new original things, or maybe she'll be replacing a character, or maybe they're just going to be adding in some stuff to like give that character something to do. Who the heck really knows whatsoever? Oh, at the end of the day, it could just be a cameo, similar to how our role in season 1 was, where, like, we didn't get to see her too much a little bit later on, so to speak. So like that could be the same case whatsoever. But honestly speaking, as much as I love, I think Reacher season 3, what they're gonna do with that is, I think in general, like, the best thing to do, because like, season 1, say what you will about that, Reacher had I already forgot their names. It's already been like a week or some shit. I'm already losing my thought about the Reacher universe. But he had like the two officers in the police department of Margaret on his side. Despite them questioning his, his abilities and like his motivations, they still like sided with him. They still like helped him out during the entire case. And then you have season 2 where like he had his the special investigators again, well at least part of them again. So he's always had a team, relatively speaking, to like kind of back him up and to kind of like help him out. He can still take care of himself, but like it's never wrong to have a second hand to like help out these sort of things. So him going undercover and definitely trying to like do things on his own, like when you're undercover, and I watch The Rookie and stuff like that, where like when you're undercover, you're on your own. Like, you'll have some contact with the outside world, but relatively speaking, you are embarking and accepting this new identity that they picked out for you. You are the only one who's able to kind of like, figure yourself out. Like, you have to be trained enough to like infiltrate this group, do your mission, and then get the hell out, because the moment they discover you, bam, you are going to try and be dead. Definitely that would definitely put Reacher in a bit of a different zone. I'm not going to say it will end up being a solo season. I would be a little remiss if like they give him like some sort of unlikely compatriot to kind of like, make things interesting, mind you. I really don't know 100% how they're going to pace the story. I don't know how they're going to do it. I would be open to any suggestions, if they're going to do a traditional, like, plot A to plot B, or we're going to start from the ending, go from the beginning. Like, who like really knows? I trust the Reacher team now 2 seasons in to like really know what they're writing and really know how to deliver not just the action scenes, like the moments where like Reacher just like demonstrates of how much he is a dangerous force to play with, but at the same time just the writing of just like these scenes where like you believe in these characters, these are like authentic takes on these characters, and that's kind of weird to say because like these are characters from books, but like you realistically feel these are people that could exist in our world, and I'm pretty sure they do exist in our world. Also, can I say this much? I'll talk more about this. I'll fanboy this more often than not. And I already see set photos. I think it's gonna be the same body type, but like the transformation that Alan Richardson had from season 1 to season 2, where like he was already good looking season 1. He was really fit. Season 2, he got bulky, and I'm just like, he got really bulky, and I'm just like, I'm not trying to fangirl over that, but like, damn, like that man really put on some muscle, and that's kind of like the similar look he's gonna do in 3, and I'm just like, oh my god, oh god, like kudos to him. Like it is not easy to work out, especially trying to put on that much muscle. It is exhausting. It is not that easy. It really isn't. But also another thing I would like to see explored in season 3, because again, like as much as these are adapting the books, they also have to like kind of have some sort of connected tissue. We saw that in season 2 where we got to see I forgot the detective name from season 1. We get to see him in a brief cameo appearance in season 2. Like I would love to like get that sort of connected tissue where like whether it's a special investigator or maybe like someone that Reacher had worked with before to come back in, like kind of like connect the bridges between these book adaptations. That would be great. Someone I think when I was reading around some of the rewatching some clips from season 2, someone said that there was a reference to an earlier book in the first episode of season 2 that indicates that this book happened already in the show. We just never got to see it because that book was adapted to the Tom Cruise movie, which I'm like, honestly, just as a brief aside, would I want them to readapt the books that the movie's done already? I would be interested, mind you. I would be. I don't think you could. I don't think you have to, considering the fact that those are kind of recent in people's mind. If you really want to, you can watch those. Those are not terribly bad films. They're just like, obviously they're not going to be the same quality as the show. No offense to Tom Cruise, he has done some great work during his career. The Jack Reacher films are kind of like mid. They're like, they're good, but they're not great. And people always complain that he's too short for the role, which I'm like, short people can be dangerous too, but after seeing Alan Richardson's take on the character, Tom Cruise can't compete. I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry, bro, about that. But for me, to go back to what I want to see from Reacher as a character this season, where like, as much as there isn't really a phrase of character development in Reacher, I don't quite necessarily feel like there is like much growth, not in a negative way, but just like this character is kind of who he is. Like, he is stoic, he is a loner, he is a drifter, he kind of just does what he wants, and that's about it. He's got the build to like, to be able to take down any threat, and if there's any threat that somehow is physically opposing to him, he just whips out his guns, and that's it. That's a done deal. So he kind of just follows by his own rules and, kind of doesn't really need to, like, grow really. But I'll talk a little bit more about this in season 2, where, like, in that review, where, like, I feel like he did kind of grow a little bit more in terms of, like, being a little bit more open to, like, having a unit really back him up, putting his trust in people again a little bit more. So not to say the characters from season 1 didn't earn his trust already, but, like, again, necessarily he would want to do things on his own. And, that season, just like kind of having me able to, like, depend on others a little bit, and kind of, admit that despite you trying to be this person that disconnects from reality, from, like, what kind of makes a normal human being normal, that he could still be more open-minded to, like, yeah, I have a family, I have a team, that they'll be there if I need them, but otherwise, like, I could just kind of just do my own thing, going into it, mind you. And I feel like that's what I would like for him to do in season 3, where, like, I don't think we'll get, like, a specific moment out of it, but definitely I would love to see him, like, to be able to, like, kind of realize, yeah, maybe I don't have to be alone. Maybe I can have some sort of companion, maybe not to the extent of, like, every single day, not like, having, like, someone, like, pitch a tent with you and just, like, survive out there in the wilderness every single day, but, like, just, be open to some, like, companionship, because, like, we got in that, like, straight into our heads last season that, Reacher just doesn't want an apartment, he doesn't want a house, he doesn't even want a backpack, the man doesn't even want a bag. He wants his back to be completely empty, and also his back, oh my god, that freaking, the season 2 poster where they just said Reacher's back, and I'm like, I know what they mean, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, the marketing team, that had some fun, they had some really fun there with the photo shots. But as for Neegly, Neegly, we got to learn more about her last season, or this season. So, like, her coming back in for season 3. I don't think her role will be terribly. I feel like it will be less than season 2, but it will not be greater than season 1. I think it might be in that little in between where, like, we'll see her for a moment, she'll pop in, she'll kind of help out a little bit, and then we'll kind of, back into, like, where things are, going back before. So I don't entirely think we will see her again. I feel like, the trajectory of the character's, personal life, going from, like, a small time, worker in season 1 with some connection to, like, season 2, where, like, she really kind of blew up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised season 3, she kind of, like, has that authoritarian presence where, like, she's kind of like a Nick Fury, where, like, she's the head of some government agency, and she's kind of, like, doing Reacher yet another solid from a distance. That would be the coolest moment there, just seeing her, like, progressing and going further. Also giving Reacher just kind of, like, the safety net of, like, yeah, she's fine. She's doing perfectly all right on her own. She doesn't need me. Just to see that would be honestly cool to say the least. Just like, we sometimes, seeing it then saying it can be great sometimes too. It doesn't always have to be the opposite way around. So that would be cool. My only other things that, again, like, maybe I'll talk more about this next time, or, like, just in general, like, what other aspects I want to see is just the production side of things, in terms of, like, the other characters, which we don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell the other characters are. I'm pretty sure they'll probably be adapting from the book and everything. I would like the season 3 villain to be even more better than season 2, where, like, season 1, I kind of forgettable. I already forgot about it. I mean, I'm going to remember season 2 because, like, Langstrom's a cool name, and the actor Robert Patrick is such a great actor. He killed it in that role. He perfectly balanced it. Even though I think they underused him a little bit too much, in my opinion. I would definitely want the season 3 villain to be different from the two of them, but at the same time, like, have much more of, like, an echoing presence. I want them to be around a lot. I want them to really, kind of show their dirty hand, like, not like, like a dirty hand, but, like, just in general, like, just, like, showing them as, like, yeah, I am a problem, I am a threat, and, what are you going to do about it? And especially if Reacher's undercover, you can't really, like, stop him yet. He just kind of has to, like, take it as may be, and just kind of, like, having to navigate this, like, very tricky situation he's in, where, like, before he's, like, he used to shoot, now he's kind of, like, having to, like, regress a little bit, not on purpose, but just for the sake of, like, trying to get the mission done, like, because at the end of the day, like, the mission is what's important, so, and I don't know why I'm quoting Mission Impossible there, I really don't know, but otherwise, no, just in the other aspects alone speaking, like, the action scenes, they already done such an amazing job in season 2, I wouldn't be remiss if they put more Batman inspired scenes in season 3, I wouldn't be more, the ones in season 2 were pretty cool, to say the least. I'm pretty sure Reacher's going to have some sort of romantic interest, or at least when I mean romantic interest, just like a woman he's interested in. They probably bone for an episode or two, and then after that, yeah, Reacher's on his merry way again. I would not be surprised if they do that. But yeah, but another attribute, when do I see Reacher Season 3 coming back? Well, generally speaking, like, we've had a Reacher installment every single year. They just put Season 3 with, like, the very end. So, like, you got episodes in 2023 and you got episodes in 2024. I don't see Reacher Season 3 out this year. I don't. I think that season's going to take time to cook. They're still filming. I wouldn't be surprised if they're just on the halfway mark of the season, so like they still have some more things to shoot, to go through. I wouldn't be surprised about that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to wait necessarily too long. I think the wait between 1 and 2 was a little bit too much, in my opinion, because like, obviously I know the strikes happened, and, you know, probably they couldn't finish ADR or like something like that. Who the hell knows if that was like, you know, because there wasn't really that much VFX work in Season 2 in general. I could be wrong, though, but, like, Season 2 was, like, a very grounded show compared to, like, another show like The Boys or Gen V or Invincible, where, like, you have to put a lot of TLC into those seasons. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I would be surprised if we get Season 3 by the end of the year. I would more likely expect this is an early 2025 show. I would be expecting I'll be back in this chair in this layout or somewhere else, whoever the hell I know where I am by that point in my life. By that point, you know, to review Season 3, I don't imagine it being this year. I don't. I think, you know, the quality of the show is so high up there. It really is. I don't want them to, like, you know, make any, you know, mistakes or anything. I definitely would expect this to be one of those. Yeah, you'll get this relatively sooner than later, you know, rather than like super late or super early. So I would estimate early 2025 for this one. I would estimate that. And, you know, hopefully it's sooner. As long as the quality is still there, I will not complain. But at the same time, it's like, you have a lot of fans that are really behind this show, that have become Reacher fans, that probably even like went above and beyond, probably, you know, started reading the books to like hear more about Reacher's tales and hopefully get a sneak peek of what's to come. But yeah, but no, I'm really excited to see what's next for Season 3. I'm really excited to see Alan Richardson again. I think, you know, the actor has done so much in his career so far. I watched him in Smallville. I watched him in Titans. He's done some other projects in between. And now, like, hitting the big time, where like, not only is he doing this show specifically, he's also going out to do other movies. He's done Fast X. You know, he's really blown up in like the landscape since Reacher Season 1 came out. And I'm very happy for the actor. And hopefully that doesn't intrude in like getting more Reacher seasons. Because for me, I would love this to be a show that goes on forever. There's books to keep adapting to. The quality's still good on them. I don't know about the recent books. I really don't know. That's not in my bandwagon, so to speak. But if this show goes for 5 seasons, I'd be happy. Longer than that, I'll be even more happy. Just let's not end of Season 4. It's just so cliche to end at 4 nowadays. I know it's because of contracts, but I'm like, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Let me know in the comments below. What would you want to see in a third season in the third season of Reacher? I would love to hear your comments down below. Would love to talk to you about that down there. But I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, there's been 1 and 2 from ActionX reviewing or talking about the upcoming third season of Reacher. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content from us, please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionXvideos. Ring that bell for notification when our next video is live. Like or share if you want to. And of course, follow us on social media. But until we see each other again, thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.